Friends, in the previous videos, I have discussed Unit 1, Unit 2 of Law of Tort. Now I am discussing Unit 3, Tort relating to person and property. Let us start. Torts relating to person. Assault. Assault is intentionally making someone reasonably fear he is about to suffer an immediate, harmful or offensive physical contact. Battery, even if no actual contact happens. In simple words, it is intentional creation of fear in the mind of the person concerned. For example, raising a fist to punch someone, but being stopped just before contact, still creates a reasonable fear of immediate battery, making it an assault. Leading case in this case, Stephens versus Myers, a foundational case for assault, establishing that the defendant must have the capacity to carry out the threat for it to be actionable. Now coming to battery. These are the words defined in law of tort. Battery. In tort law, battery is the intentional, unpermitted and harmful or offensive physical contact with another person requiring actual touching but not necessarily serious injury, that is, hitting, punching, or spitting. For example, A intentionally shoves B in the crowded bus in a rude manner. This is battery. A it spits on B's face. The spit makes contact, making it battery. Now, leading case in this, Cole versus Turner. In this case, it was established that anger was a relevant element to the tort of battery and that accidental touching would not amount to battery At the same time, even a light touch could be converted to battery through the existence of anger. Means anger is the main factor in battery. Now, false imprisonment. The total restraint of a person's liberty without lawful justification, such as locking someone in a room or wrongful arrest. Leading case, Radul Shah versus State of Bihar, a landmark Indian case where the Supreme Court awarded compensation for a man detained for 14 years after his acquittal, establishing the concept of constitutional tort for illegal detention. So this was a false imprisonment. Malicious provocation. In tort, a civil wrong where someone initiates or continues legal proceedings, usually criminal, against another without reasonable grounds or probable cause and with a malicious intent, causing harm to the victim, allowing the wronged party to sue for damages like reputational loss and wasted times or money. To prove it, the plaintiff must show the case ended favorably for them. The prosecutor lacked probable cause, acted maliciously, and they suffered actual damage. It protects individuals from abuse of the legal system, balancing the freedom to report crimes with preventing false accusations. Now, there is a leading case in this respect. S. Nambi Narayanan versus C.B. Matthews, a high-profile case involving the wrongful prosecution of an ISRO scientist where the Supreme Court held law enforcers are accountable for fabricating charges against the ISRO scientist. Defamation. Harming a person's reputation through false statements, either in permanent form libel or spoken form slander. Now there is also a leading case, Subramaniam Swamy versus Union of India. The Supreme Court upheld the constitutional validity of criminal defamation, linking reputation to the right to life under Article 21. Now, this was all about torts relating to persons. Now coming to torts relating to property. Torts relating to property are divided into two parts. One against immovable property like land and movable property like goods. Now torts against immovable property. Trespass to land. Unjustifiable physical interference with the land in the possession of another. It is actionable, meaning no actual damage needs to be proven. In this case, though, there is no need for proving any damage, only interference with the land makes a tort. Leading case: Harrison versus Duke of Rutland. Entry to disrupt a hunting event. A hunting event is going on and somebody is going to disrupt that on the private land was trespassed. It emphasizes landowners' exclusive control over his property. So, when their property has exclusive control, nobody is allowed to trespass the land. Now coming to nuisance. Unlawful interference with a person's use or enjoyment of his land. That is, excessive noise, smoke or vibrations. Unlike trespass, proof of actual damage is generally required in this case. Now leading case, Radheshyam versus Guru Prasad. In this case, it was held that excessive noise from a floor mill affecting physical comfort is actionable using the reasonable person test. Waste. Permanent damage or destruction caused by someone in lawful possession, such as a tenant damaging a house. Now coming to movable properties. Goods. Trespass to goods. Direct wrongful interference with the possession of goods. It relates with direct wrongful interference with the possession of goods. That is, for example, removing a car tire. If you remove car tire, that is a trespass to goods. Or scratching a laptop. Conversion, trouble, dealing with goods in a way that is inconsistent with the owner's rights, such as selling or destroying another person's personal property. That is new. The wrongful detention of goods. The remedy is an action for the specific recovery of the property. So friends, this is all about the unit 3rd, tort against property and immovable property like land and goods movable property. Thanks for watching this video.